You know what's crazy? Most people think you need a big backyard, acres of land, maybe even perfect soil, just to grow your own fruit. But I've seen people grow more fruit on a small balcony than most families ever buy in a month. And not just a little. I'm talking about real harvests, bowls of fruit, enough to actually change how you eat day to day. Stick with me, because one of these trees can literally pay for itself in a single season. And there's one in the middle of this list. Number 7. That quietly becomes the most useful plant you own. Let's get into it. But first, just a quick pause. If you're enjoying this kind of practical, real-life approach to growing your own food, you're welcome to subscribe. And if you'd like to keep learning like this, just press 1. All right, here's where it starts. Let me show you something most people completely underestimate. Pomegranates. Now I know. Pomegranates in a pot sound a little fancy. But here's the truth. These things are tough. I mean really tough. I've seen people forget to water them for a few days, leave them in less than perfect conditions, and they still push through. That resilience matters, especially if you're busy or just getting started. What makes them work so well in containers is their root system. They don't demand space the way other fruit trees do. They stay more compact, more contained, which means they're perfectly comfortable in a large pot. You don't need anything expensive either. A simple 15 to 20 gallon container, even one of those food-grade buckets you can get for free, works just fine. And once the tree settles in, it starts producing deep red fruit, slightly tart, slightly sweet, that unmistakable flavor. I've seen one small container tree produce dozens of fruits in a season. And here's the part people don't think about. That's fruit you're not buying anymore. Over time, it adds up. But beyond that, pomegranates are often associated with supporting heart health and circulation, especially as we get older. Nothing dramatic, but consistent, real food that your body recognizes. And that's a theme you'll start to notice. Now let's move to something that surprises almost everyone. Figs. Because figs do something most fruit trees don't. They actually like being a little restricted. Most plants want their roots to spread out. Figs? They're different. When you grow them in a container, something shifts. Instead of focusing on getting bigger, they focus on producing fruit. And that's exactly what you want. I've seen container fig trees loaded with fruit way earlier than people expect, sometimes within the first couple of seasons. And we're not talking about a few here and there. We're talking dozens, even more, from a tree that sits right on a patio. The fruit itself is something else. Soft, rich, naturally sweet. Almost like nature concentrated everything into one bite. And here's a small trick that makes a big difference. Let the soil dry slightly between watering during fruiting season. Just a little. It creates a mild stress that actually concentrates the sugars in the fruit. Sounds counterintuitive, but it works. And the flavor? Completely different from store-bought figs. If you've ever bought figs from the store, you probably know they're often disappointing. Picked too early? Handled too much? But when you grow them yourself, you pick them at the exact moment they're ready. And that moment matters. Now, this next one is where a lot of people go wrong. Blueberries. Not because they're hard, but because they have one very specific requirement. And if you miss it, nothing works. So here's the deal. Blueberries need acidic soil. That's it. Most people plant them in regular potting mix and then wonder why they struggle. But in a container, you control everything. You can use the right mix, adjust the conditions, and suddenly, blueberries become one of the easiest fruits you can grow. That's the advantage of containers. Control. You're not fighting your yard. You're creating the environment. And when you get it right, you start seeing clusters of berries form. Small at first, then more. Then suddenly you're picking handfuls. I've seen people get several pounds from a single container plant once it matures. And if you've looked at blueberry prices lately, you already know what that means. But there's something else. Blueberries are often associated with supporting brain health and memory, especially over time. Again, not a miracle, just a steady addition that may help support how you feel long-term. And there's something simple about walking outside, grabbing a handful, and eating them right there. No preparation, no effort, just real food. And here's where things start to get really interesting, because the next one is probably the most useful plant on this entire list. And most people think they already understand it, but they don't. Let's talk about lemons. Now, Let's get into the one most people recognize: lemon trees. Everyone's heard of growing lemons in pots. But here's the part most people miss. It's not just that they grow in containers, it's how they produce. A good lemon tree doesn't follow a simple once-a-year harvest. It keeps going. Flowers, small green fruit, and ripe lemons, all at the same time. Which means you're not waiting all year for one moment. You're getting a steady supply. And that changes how you actually use it. I've seen people who used to buy lemons occasionally. Now they use them every day. A squeeze in water, a little on food, small habits that add up. And in many cases, having fresh citrus regularly may support hydration and digestion, especially as routines become more consistent. But here's what really makes lemons work in containers: control. If the weather drops, you move the tree. If pests show up, you isolate it. If something feels off, you adjust quickly. You're not managing a yard, you're managing one plant. And that's a big difference. A healthy tree can give you dozens, sometimes close to 100 lemons a year, from one pot. And once you see that happening, it changes how you think about space. Now let's move into something people usually assume is too difficult: peaches. Because peaches have a reputation: soft, delicate, easy to ruin. But here's the shift. When you grow them in containers, you take back control. You're no longer dealing with a huge tree. You're working with something you can actually manage. You can move it, protect it, pay attention to it. And that attention makes a difference. I've seen small container peach trees produce full-sized fruit that tastes nothing like store-bought. Because store peaches are picked early. They have to survive transport, time, handling. But yours? They ripen on the tree, fully, naturally. And that changes everything. There's a moment when you pick one. It gives slightly in your hand. The scent is already there. You take a bite, and it's soft, sweet, and full. That's what people remember. Now here's something important. When your tree starts forming fruit, you'll notice a lot of small peaches. More than the tree can handle well. And this is where most people hesitate. You remove some. About half. It feels wrong at first, but it's not. It allows the tree to focus its energy. The remaining fruit becomes larger, sweeter, better. And the tree stays healthier. It's one of those small adjustments that creates a big result. Now, let's talk about something that usually frustrates people. Cherries. Not because they're hard to grow, but because you rarely get to eat them. Birds tend to get there first. And with a full-size tree, there's not much you can do. But in a container, everything changes. The tree is smaller, accessible. You can cover it, protect it, watch it closely. And that means you actually get the harvest. I've seen people go from losing everything to picking bowl after bowl of cherries just by switching to a container setup. And there's something about watching cherries change color, from pale to pink to deep red. You start checking them every day, waiting for that perfect moment. And when it arrives, it feels earned, not rushed, not random. And cherries, they're more than just a treat. In many cases, they're associated with compounds that may support recovery and even sleep quality. But even without that, they bring something simple: enjoyment. And sometimes, that's exactly what keeps people consistent. Now, here's one that solves a problem most people don't even realize they have: apples. But not the big, wide trees you're picturing. These are narrow, upright, they grow almost straight up, which means you can fit them into spaces you'd never expect. A balcony, a narrow patio, even along a wall, and still, they produce real apples, full size, crisp, juicy. I've seen people grow 2 or 3 of these side by side and get a steady harvest across the season. That's something you don't usually think about with container growing. But it's possible. And apples bring another advantage. They last. You pick them, store them, and keep using them over time. So the benefit isn't just immediate. It stretches. And in many cases, fruits like apples may support digestion and help maintain steady energy, especially when they become part of a regular routine. But there's also something else. They're familiar, comforting, easy to use. And that matters. Because the easier something is to use, the more likely it becomes part of your life. Now, this next one technically breaks the tree rule, but it deserves its spot. Strawberries. Because if you want results quickly, this is where you start. Strawberries don't make you wait. They don't take years to produce. They begin giving. and they keep giving. I've seen people plant a small container, and within months, they're picking fruit. Then more again. And during peak season, it becomes a daily habit. A few berries in the morning, a few in the afternoon. Small, consistent rewards. And that's powerful. Because one of the biggest reasons people give up on growing food, or even improving their habits, is that the reward feels too far away. Strawberries fix that. They give you something back, quickly. And when you taste them, fully ripe, picked at the right moment. They're completely different from store-bought. Sweeter, softer, more alive. And over time, fruits like these may support overall nutrition in a very simple, natural way. No effort beyond picking. Now, we're getting close to the top, because the next one is where patience starts to pay off. And most people don't expect it to work in a container at all. Let's talk about avocados. Now, this is where most people hesitate. Avocados? Because everything about them sounds like a long commitment. They take time. They need the right conditions. And for a lot of people, it feels like maybe it's not worth the wait. But here's the thing. You're already waiting. You're already buying avocados week after week, year after year. So the real question becomes, do you want to keep buying them forever? Or start growing something that eventually gives back? Dwarf avocado varieties make this possible in containers. They don't need a huge yard. They need good drainage, steady light, and patience. That's really it. I've seen people almost give up after a couple of years. Nothing much happening. Just a plant growing. And then one season, everything changes. The first real fruit appears. And suddenly, all that time feels different. It no longer feels like waiting. It feels like building. That's something I've seen not just with plants, but with people. The habits that take longer to show results often end up being the most meaningful. And avocados fit beautifully into that idea. Rich, satisfying, and in many cases associated with supporting heart health and balanced nutrition. But more than that, they represent long-term care. Something you start now, that continues giving for years. Now, let's talk about the one that surprises almost everyone. Bananas. Because when people hear banana plant, they imagine something huge, tropical, impossible in a container. But that's not the full picture. Dwarf varieties exist, and when you grow them in a large pot, they don't just survive. They thrive. The plant itself is striking. Large leaves, fast growth. It feels alive in a very visible way. And then one day, a flower appears. And not long after that, you start to see it. A cluster forming. Bananas. Real ones. Hanging right there. In a pot on your patio. The first time you see it, it almost doesn't feel real. I've seen people just stand there, staring at it, because it breaks the expectation. And that's part of what makes it so powerful. Not just the yield, which can be dozens of bananas from a single plant, but the experience. It reminds you that more is possible than you assumed. And once it fruits, it doesn't just end. New shoots begin to grow from the base. The cycle continues. You can replant them, share them, expand what you've started. And bananas, they're simple, familiar, and in many cases, support energy and daily nutrition in a very practical way. But what they really give you is momentum. Now, before we wrap up, there's one small thing that makes all of this work better, and almost nobody talks about it. Mulch. Just a simple layer on top of your soil. Wood chips, straw, even dried leaves. Nothing complicated, but it changes everything. It helps keep moisture in. It protects the roots from heat. It reduces stress on the plant. And over time, it slowly feeds the soil. I've seen people struggle with watering, inconsistent growth, plants that just don't seem stable. Then they add this one layer, and things start to level out. Growth becomes steadier. Fruit becomes more consistent. And here's the key idea. Sometimes the solution isn't doing more. It's creating stability. And that applies beyond plants, because the body works the same way. When things are stable, supported, consistent, it responds better. So, when you step back and look at everything we've covered, this isn't really about having space. It's about using what you have differently. A balcony, a small patio, even just a corner with sunlight. That's enough. I've seen people start with one container, just one. At first, they weren't sure it would work, but then the first leaves came, then flowers, then fruit, and something shifted. They started paying more attention. They stepped outside more often. They felt more connected to what they were eating. Not in a dramatic way, in a quiet, steady way. And over time, that small change becomes part of their routine, part of their identity. Someone who grows things, someone who takes care of something living. And that matters more than it sounds. Because when you begin to care for something consistently, you often begin to care for yourself a little differently too. You notice more. You choose better. You slow down just enough to stay present. So if there's one thing I'd leave you with, it's this. You don't need to grow everything. You don't need the perfect setup. You don't need experience. You just need to start. Pick one plant, one container, place it somewhere you'll see it every day, and stay with it. Because sometimes, the most important part isn't the fruit. It's what changes in you while you're waiting for it to grow.